reactions. Congratulations to the Denver Nuggets for probably winning the championship already after that first game.
Feels that way, doesn't it?
Yeah. It wasn't even worth watching.
Can anybody make an argument right now for the Miami Heat?
No.
And I'm not just saying because they lost. It was just after you watch the game and after you see what Jokic can – I mean –
That was their best chance to win a game.
I felt it was too, because now it's only going to get more difficult.
It's going to get more difficult. Denver been off for 9 days.
Right.
So you have that little bit of rust, and they shot 9 of 27 from 3. They shot 29% from 3.
But they shot overall 50%.
But their three-point shooting team shot 43% of the playoffs, shot 29% last night. Jokic took 4 shots in the first half.
Which is crazy. I was wondering what was going on.
Well, it's pick your poison with him. Do you let him score or do you let everyone else score? They said, all right, Jokic, you're not going to score. We're going to let everyone else score.
And they did.
What did he do? He had 10 assists in the first half and became the second player ever, the first being LeBron James, with 10 assists and 10 rebounds and a half at basketball. He had a triple-double. He didn't look at his numbers. He played an average game last night, 8 of 12, super efficient. They were up 20 points. I don't know if it was 9 or 10 points they got to the fourth quarter. Whatever it was, Miami went on an 11-0 run in the fourth to make it at least feel like a game for 30 seconds, and then Denver snapped their fingers, said, all right, peace out, we'll see you later, deuces, and cruise to an easy win.
Man, Jay, when you start watching teams and, playoff basketball, finals basketball, it'll sober you right on up. When you got Aaron Gordon coming out the way he came out and looking like he was, the best. He looked like he was Karl Malone. He came out and scored the first, 4 or 5 buckets to set the tone. He ended up 7 and 10, 16.6 rebounds, but that's your 5th option. That guy is not, when he starts coming out and doing that to you, and then Joker didn't even have a huge game, like it was a quiet 27, what are you going to do when they play well?
Yeah,
what
they haven't
doing?
seen that yet.
It's a wrap.
They ain't even played to their capabilities right now. So to me, this one is
now.
Done
All of this being said, when the Heat were down, or rather when they were up 3-0, we thought they were, they're the best thing since the 16 Golden State Warriors. And then Boston came storming back, and it looked like the Heat were dead at that point because they had no momentum, and they had to find a way to win a Game 7 in Boston.
Crazy.
And they won that game running away. So I hate to have a funeral for Spoelstra and for Pat Riley and for this Miami Heat team. I just will say this. It sure doesn't look good.
Well, we talked about it yesterday. Before last night, the Nuggets were 6-0 against Miami over the last 3 seasons. The average margin of victory was 13 points. It is a terrible matchup for Miami. Terrible. This does not include last night's win. Bam Adebayo is a really, really good defender.
Wow.
And Bam Adebayo is 6'9", 235 pounds of pure muscle. The dude's body fat's like 2%. He looks like a midget compared to Nikola Jokic. That's how good Joker is. And you mentioned Aaron Gordon.
Small person,
dwarf. I apologize.
By the way, Jokic is the MVP. And
it's not even close.
But did they miss that?
But to G's point of Michael Porter Jr. coming out of the woodworks, Aaron Gordon coming out of the woodworks, that happens because Jokic demands 10 eyes when he's on the court.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're 2 people off the ball, if you're in help side, 1 person off the ball. No matter where he has the ball on the court, all 10 eyes of Miami's defense are looking at him. And that leads to backdoor cuts galore, and that's why Jokic's assist numbers are absurd. Everyone's looking at him, and you got guys like Aaron Gordon and MPJ who are both 6'9", 6'10", cutting to the rim against an undersized Miami front line. It is a terrible matchup, and I love Spo. That's the best coach team in the entire NBA. It's not even close. If this goes more than 5 games, I will be shocked.
Could the Cavs beat either one of these teams?
Maybe Miami.
I think they could beat Miami. I think they had a better regular season than Miami did.
Miami's not that good.
I will say this. After I watch Denver this postseason and use them as the yardstick against the Cavs, we're a long ways away.
Hey, look, thank you, Jay. Thank you for we are. This ain't the Duke of knee jerk. This is not this is just pure analysis. This ain't no emotion. Like I say it soberly, that you are a very long way away from that machine.
Yeah, Jokic is the kind of player that literally does make everybody around him better because of the attention that he demands. And there were times this year where teams were like, okay, Donovan Mitchell's not going to do that to us.
Look at the playoffs.
And even though they had individuals step up and pick up the slack, it's a different ball game compared to what Denver has going with Jokic and just how
they pass the ball,
they're a good passing
They
team.
find
The
they
best
find the
passing
right
team in
guy.
basketball.
They are the best passing
And
team in
it's not
basketball.
and it helps when you have the best passing big of all time,
He
playing
is.
essentially point guard. But they're unselfish. The Murray-Jokic pick and roll is literally unguardable.
Did you see Kevin Garnett,
Unguardable.
the clip of Kevin Garnett, how he would defend it?
Yeah, which is
Where he was talking about he's just going to body. Basically, he's going to, right off the game, he's going to pick him up on the inbound or, when it's deep in their own, and he's going to start chucking them. And he goes, maybe the next time I'm going to lay back. And then when he comes into the past the timeline, he's going to chuck them again. Like, teams have tried to do that to
they've tried
him.
everything.
Whatever, like, it's almost like there's no kryptonite for him.
He's too big.
Because whatever you decide to do, and I think the element of that is, and it sounds like hyperbole, but it's not, because as I've watched this postseason, I've said to myself out loud, I've never seen a big that passes the ball any better.
It's not. I don't listen.
I mean, I know Magic Johnson, but Magic Johnson wasn't a big.
No,
a point guard.
He was a guard.
And Jokic is a point center, and they run their
He is a
entire
point
offense
center.
through him. He initiates the offense. He brings the ball up the court half the time. Watch Jokic, and the playoffs has opened, I think, the league's and the country's eyes to Jokic. If you're a basketball fan, obviously you've seen him play.
Yeah, but
two-time
now-
MVP. It's not like he was unknown, but a lot of people are seeing him play on a sustained level for the first time. He does things and makes passes that guys like LeBron 5 years ago would have been the only one that could see. He makes
Yeah.
Steve Nash passes, and he's 7 feet tall
That's-
and long
that's the
arms.
difference.
And he sees over the defense in ways that it doesn't matter what you do defensively, he's going to get the angle.
And by the way, who's the 7-footer that drifts out to the three-point line
knocking that
that
down.
demands you have to guard him?
You got to put a hand up. That's money.
He is a passing, shooting big. And I know the league has moved away from the true center, but if you can find a guy with a skill set like that, that's the cheat code right now in the NBA.
And congratulations and shout out to all the coaches that aren't afraid of innovation. I could go and show you players that wouldn't traditionally fit in what basketball is doing and say, look how they changed the game. Steph Curry started shooting from half court.
Yep.
You know you can do about it. You take a look at LeBron. How many times back in the day would they say, LeBron needs to be underneath the basket. He shouldn't be controlling the ball 24 hours a day. You look at what Jokic is doing. For a person and a team to have the foresight to say, I'm going to let him play his game, and you have no blueprint for it,
Yeah.
it's
know.
tremendous.
So you know what Miami's counter is going to be in Game 2?
No, what are they going to do differently?
It's not going to work, but here's what they're going to try to do. Kevin Love's going to guard Jokic, and they're going to have Bam be the roamer, essentially the free safety
that's
back
a
there
disaster.
to try and detract him from hitting all these backdoor cuts. It's not going to work.
Yeah, no, that's a disaster.
I'm telling you right now, it is not going to work. I think that's what Miami's going to do.
By the way, if they do that and it works, and they somehow, and I don't think it's
It's not
going.
going. It is not. It is not going to work.
I don't
but
think
that's
it
what
is
they're going
either.
to try to
In fact,
do.
I think it's going to be a disaster.
Jokic will go for 50. Is what it's going to turn into.
And Miami wins an NBA championship, essentially because they picked up Kevin Love off the scrap heap.
Yep.
That's going to be another in the long list of Cleveland sports heartbreaks. That if someone would have told me, I was thinking this when I was watching last night, if someone would have told me in February that the NBA Finals are going to have a team from the East that wasn't the 1, it wasn't the 2, it wasn't, and that it was a team that had Kevin Love on it, you would be like, oh my God, the Cavs are in the Finals.
Right. And then it fell apart.
It wasn't the 1, the 2, the 3, and they had Kevin Love on their roster.
And I think Miami's going to do that because at least Kevin Love has size. He's not tall, but he's still 220 pounds.
He's a disaster on defense.
I get it, but at least when Bam's on Jokic, everyone else is spread out. You can put him as the free safety and essentially run a double team at him. And it's not going to work. Jokic is going to go for 50. Like that's what's going to happen instead.
I'm surprised if they do that.
Instead of passing and only taking 4 shots in the first quarter, he's going to take 15, 16 shots and have 33 points at halftime.
I think that's a more
with 2
likely
assists,
scenario.
which is what's going to happen. But they have to try something else because they got absolutely
Because what they're doing
obliterated.
isn't working.
And I think that's their only other. They don't have another big. Cody Zeller played yesterday.
Yeah,
I know he did.
That's even worse.
But G. Bush, let me ask you this: if there's a team that you're confident that has the ability to make an adjustment, is it Miami the team?
Yeah.
Because with Pat Riley and Spo as the sort of brain trust here, I've got a lot of confidence that if there is a fix, they'll find it. But I don't know that there is one.
Yeah, and Bam played pretty well. Shot almost 50% from the field. Bam played well. He had 25 points. I just think that for them to win a game, they're going to have to pull something. I think Kevin Love does have to play. I think what they have to do is they need to go to the Ty Lue ball approach. We want to shoot 43s a day. We're going to shoot 43s.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to do.
That's their only hope.
That's the only hope.
You gotta hope they get five.
They got to hit.
Yeah.
They hit
That's
25 threes.
That's it.
That's it. Other than that, it's a wrap.
There is no answer to Jokic. Like, we can
No,
talk about.
he's the NBA's
There
cheat
is
code.
no answer to Jokic in the NBA. And Miami, as good as Bam is,
Too small.
cannot guard Jokic
small.
in the way that he needs to.
Has there ever been a player like Jokic?
No.
Like, at that level.
Well, that is a big that can shoot, that can find the open man. Some of the passes he makes, I'm like, that's not getting through.
I think
He's the best passer in basketball.
I think
It's unbelievable.
He is the best passer in
I
basketball.
think somebody said this. I forget who said it. I don't know whether it's Isaiah Thomas or somebody. He said, Joker plays like the prime Arvydas Sabonis.
Yeah.
Like, he plays like
Okay, yeah, that's
Arvydas,
that's
like
pre-back injuries and-
pre-injury,
Yeah, right,
when
right.
he was one of the best dudes in the Eastern Hemisphere. Like,
No, that
he
might
plays
be
like
it.
them.
One Sabonis story real quick, and then we'll move on to the top 5. I heard this when they were talking about Roy Hachimura after Game 1 when he played pretty well against Jokic. Apparently when he came to Gonzaga, he didn't speak English very well, and he did something in practice, and Mark Few called him a dumbass, and he thought he was calling him Domas Sabonis, who was his favorite player growing up. So he has this big grin on his face, like, oh, I did something like Domas, and he was calling him a dumbass. And they could tell him it was
That's very
different.
good.
Little side for Anthony, what's next?